भगवान की रामराज की जय गौ परमानंद।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome on behalf. Welcome to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as ISKCON Phoenix or Hare Krishna Temple. On behalf of our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabupada, and our presiding deities, Srila Madhava Hare. Welcome you to today's very, very special program. I will ask Mother Namapriya Devidasi to introduce today's special class, as she is the lead of our youth group. I'm going to request at this time all Giri Govardhan and Damodar students go to the classroom for a quick rehearsal. Everybody goes to the classroom for a quick rehearsal. A quick rehearsal, okay? And I want to request, Prabhus, if we can clear this area, if you can please move back, because the children are going to come back. If you can sit around that area and leave this space for the children, because after the quick rehearsal, they're going to come and sit here. And everyone, if from the back, if you can please, come forward. Over here, you leave the space, but then after that, just please come forward. Promise you the children are not going to bite you, nor pinch you, right? So, thank you so much. And again, give you her grace, Namapriya Devidasi. And she's done wonderful things for our youth. And so today's program is not a surprise. So I'll have her introduce today's special class. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Hare Krishna. Can I put this for Aditi? Okay, there's 2 mics.
So they can hear the message from you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for being here for Sunday Feast. As you just heard, right, this is a youth group, okay? So these kids are truly blessed. They have been here with us since from birth. They have been here, born and raised in the temple, I feel. Been through different classes of Sunday school. I was the Sunday school teacher way back when. I just grew with them, and now finally I am their youth group coordinator, but I had them when they were little kids too. So it's just beautiful to see how they have grown and matured into really deep, their spiritual knowledge and the faith and everything is so strong. And it's not just Sunday school and temple, right, but it's also the parents, the way they are raising them and the way they are instilling all the values and everything. So it takes a village, to raise a raise a kid, and what about Krishna conscious kid? So I just want to say that kudos to all of you too, to creating that atmosphere in which they can nurture so nicely in Krishna consciousness. So today, I don't want to speak too much. I'm going to hand it over to Nikhil, so he will introduce the students and then also the topic. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. So, on behalf of the youth group, we would like to make an offering to Srila Prabhupada. His disappearance day is coming up on Tuesday, November 5th. So we would like to go through his life and legacy and share whatever we can. And before we get started, I would like to seek all of your blessings. We're not at all qualified to speak about all this knowledge, but for our own purification, we would like to convey what we have learned to all of you. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Alright, so I'm going to start off by presenting his appearance, his childhood, and his youth years. So, to start off, Srila Prabupada was born in 1896 to two devotees. They've all been maintaining great faith in the Lord. Throughout Prabhupada's childhood, he's always wanted to worship the deities just like his parents, so he's always followed his parents' footsteps. For example, he's always watched his dad do puja, and he's always thought to himself, I want to do puja like my dad. That's exactly what he's been doing throughout his childhood years and his youth years and so on. So, his name is, he was named Abhaycharan, meaning one who is fearless and took shelter of the Lord, and he definitely lived according to his name. He's also struggled a lot in his life. For example, when Prabupada was 1, he fell ill with typhoid, and his doctor also prescribed him chicken broth to cure it, but his father refused, and he had faith that he can be able to get cured even without having to eat meat. The doctor kept insisting that without chicken broth he wouldn't survive. But when the doctor fed Prabupada the chicken broth, Prabupada started to vomit, and as a result, his father threw the chicken broth away, and he eventually got better. When he was 4, a plague hit Calcutta, and a lot of people had to evacuate the state, and many people also passed away from the disease. So as a result, Babaji organized a Hare Krishna Sankirtana for everyone. Many people, regardless of religion, joined, and eventually the plague subsided shortly after. And then when Prabhupada was 6, he started to perform a Ratha Yatra, and his father spent money to distribute prasadam to the children. And then later on, his father encouraged him to play the mridanga, to learn how to play the mridanga in school. And yet Prabhupada had one teacher teach the mridanga, and another teacher teach like other subjects. Lastly, his father also invited saintly persons to his house to bless his son, because his ambition was to ensure that his son would eventually grow up to be a preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam and also play the mridanga in service of the Lord. So throughout his years, he's lived through a period of crisis and struggles. Like, for example, he grew up during the time where there was rioting, where there was war. He's lived through 2 world wars, because he's lived throughout, he's lived since the 19th century. Sorry. So when Srila Prabhupada, also known as Abe, was 13 years old, a Hindu-Muslim riot broke out. He didn't know that it took place until his close friends told him that near his house there was a riot. So he didn't want to come home, but that led to his parents being worried for him because they were scared that he might have been like injured by one of the like Muslims. A Muhammadan wanted to kill him, so he was chased home with a knife. And when he went home, he was like he felt really scared. He was also taking shelter of the Lord. He kept praying so that he can be able to get through the tough times. And eventually the riot ended. When he was 15, he and his mother was affected with a condition called beriberi, and they had to rub calcium chloride on the swollen area of their legs. Eventually they recovered. However, 1 year later, his mother got the condition again and later passed away. So that definitely was a tragedy for Prabupada because it felt like part of his childhood is gone. He misses her affectionate care. He misses the times when he was really nurtured by his mom. So that was really tough for him. And later on, as he grew up, he had so many responsibilities ahead of him. So next I'm gonna talk about his college years. So when Prabupada was like 18, he entered a Scottish Church's college mainly because like his father didn't want to send him to a school in like London where he would be influenced by like some immoral European ideas. But he also didn't want his son being a brahmachari of like some of the false sadhus. So that was the place the only place they could consider is entering the Scottish Church's college. So it had a good reputation from like many Vaishnavas. So during that time, it was like tough for him to be able to balance the amount of work and also have to perform devotional service. So it was tough for him throughout like most of his college years. He had to spend more time on his studies. Then one night he had a dream. So I'm gonna explain. So I'm gonna say the quote of the dream he had about the that he had with a deity. So the deity was complaining, "Why have you put me in a box? You should take me out to worship me again." So as a result, he took that seriously. He continued to perform devotional service despite the amount of work he had. Continued to take shelter of the Lord despite any struggles. So later on, like during his college years, he's also like dealt with, he grew up in an area where India was ruled by the British. He was very interested in like not just reading the Gitas, but he was also interested in Gandhi. He really loved Gandhi's habits, and some of his values like reflected spirituality. So later on, when Gandhi called Indians in the protest, everybody boycotted everything that was British, including like clothes, including like education and stuff. So Prabupada sort of had to give up his degree, and he decided to participate. So at that time, everyone was protesting. It was a non-violent protest because one of Gandhi's values is non-violence. So that's basically, at that point, he sort of had to give up like some of his education because like that, anything that sort of aligned with the British. However, despite that, like his life started to change when his friend introduced Prabupada to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And at first, like he didn't want to insist because of the fake sadhus he met in the past. So he thought like maybe the sadhu is fake. However, the friend kept saying you should visit him. He's a very good sadhu. And so he decided to follow what his friend said, and that's when he started to come to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's place. So this sums up Prabhupada's childhood and his youth years.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for sharing about his childhood. So moving on, I'll be speaking, picking up where she left off about meeting Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So Prabhupada, even though he was very hesitant, like Aditi has said, there were so many fake sadhus going around India, speaking with the wrong intention, preaching the wrong message, without any authority, without the right intention. So Prabhupada was very careful on who he wanted to go and meet and go and listen to. But after lots of convincing, he finally decided that he will go and see, like what this sadhu is about. So him and his friend Narendra, they go, and immediately when they come to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's place, they bow down and they're about to, take obeisances. And before they even touch the floor, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he tells them, like, you two are really educated young men, so therefore you should be preaching in the West. And immediately, even 1 second after they came in, this was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's instruction. And Prabhupada was taken aback and he was astonished because for so long he's been following, Gandhi's movement, and at the forefront of all of his priorities in his life was India's independence. And that was what was most important to him at that time. But when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said this, he had many questions. So he asked Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, if India doesn't even have its independence right now, and it doesn't have its own representation in the world, then how will people listen when we try to spread the culture of India? And what authority will we have and to preach this culture and this faith that is so alienating to people in the West? And Prabhupada said, like, shouldn't we wait and for India to become independent first and then go about trying to preach to the rest of the world? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, as we know, he was known as the Lion Guru. So in a very calm but stern and deep voice, he tells Prabhupada that Krishna consciousness and the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot wait for such mundane and meager things like the independence of a nation or nationalism. So here we see that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he had the right intention and he knew what was the priority, that Krishna consciousness and bhakti was the priority for the people of the world. And at this moment, Srila Prabhupada realized that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was in fact not one of the sadhus who is doing things for his own benefit, but he's preaching for the benefit of the world, and that is Krishna consciousness. So as they left the place of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Narendra asked Prabhupada, like, what was your impression on him? And Prabhupada replied that Krishna consciousness and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya are in the hands of a very expert person. So here we see that Prabhupada, even before taking initiation or even following his spiritual master. He is showing how we should only follow bona fide spiritual masters, and we should seek out people who are bona fide and who are expert in the Shastra and also have the right intention and are doing everything for the service of Krishna. And so moving forward, in almost a decade later, Srila Prabhupada takes formal initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And from this moment onwards, as you all know, he ran a pharmacy business, and he served the movement financially by providing funds and giving his own money to the movement so that they can do all their operations. But after some time, Prabhupada, he wanted to do something that was more direct. He wanted a more direct service and a more deeper service. So in 1936, a few years later, he writes a letter to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and he asks, what deeper service or what direct service can I do for you? And 2 weeks later, he gets a response. But unfortunately, within this time period, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he leaves his body and he departs. And so this would end up being the final instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati to Prabhupada. So when Prabhupada opens the letter, to his astonishment, it was the same exact thing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had told him when they first met, which was to spread Krishna consciousness and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the West. And in this letter, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati mentioned that this would not only be good for you, but it would be good for the world and all the people that you preach to. So now, Prabhupada, he took this command and this order to heart, and he completely dedicated the rest of his life to fulfilling his Guru's orders. So he started, even before directly coming to the Western preaching, he was publishing magazines, trying to spread what the true purpose of life is to people in India. And he was also writing small books like Journey to Other Planets in English, and he started translating the Bhagavad Gita. And he was doing this at a time which, like Aditi said, during the Second World War, there was actually a sanction on paper. So imagine, Prabhupada is giving all his money to the movement, and the cost of paper is high, and that's also not easy to afford. And at the same time, for a long period, India was under British rule, so there was many regulations on what you can publish. It's very hard to publish something without having so many setbacks. And on top of all this, he is doing all of this by himself. He is writing, researching, editing, publishing, and he's even going door to door to businesses to distribute these magazines, all single-handedly. And he's doing the service for such a long time, and finally, when he's older, he decides that he wants to dedicate his whole life to fulfilling this order. So he retires from his family life. When his children are older, he takes vanaprastha. And even before taking sannyas, he pretty much lives like a whole decade as following the life of a sannyasi. And he explains in a lecture later on that taking sannyas is just a formality, but the essence for him was to actually live the life of a sannyasi, dedicating his whole life to Krishna consciousness. So he finally takes sannyas, and at the age of 69, a little bit before, this is when he actually departs for America. But this is almost 4 decades after his spiritual master's initial order to him. So just imagine, he has no money, he has left his family, left his business, he has dedicated everything to spreading bhakti. And almost 4 decades later, at the age of 69 years, with almost nothing in his pocket, he boarded some cargo ship that he was able to find by the kindness of some people. And even going through 2 heart attacks on that journey at the age of 69, he still decides that this is the time that he should come to the West to preach Krishna consciousness. And this takes us back to what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, how Krishna consciousness cannot wait for things like politics or even our own health or our own situation, as it is the utmost importance for the betterment of the world. So on that note, Srila, this is the moment where Prabhupada, he departs for the US in 1965, and I will let Divyansh take over the rest of the story.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm not qualified at all, but I'd like to make an attempt to glorify Srila Prabhupada a few days before his disappearance day. So, generally, we, as people, we have like a fear of doing something new or doing something additional to what our daily lives are like. But then Srila Prabhupada, he exemplifies what a true Vaishnava is at the age of 69, boarding the Jaladuta with absolutely no money, $7 in here's currency. And just like faith, it said when he arrived in Boston, he didn't have like much motivation or anything. He just had his mindset that I need to preach, and that's my guru's orders, and he lived that for the rest of his life. Like he wrote once that there's this quote that he liked. Ulysses said, "To strive, to seek, to yield, to find," which kind of shows his mentality that even at such an age, I won't give up, and I need to like convey whatever my spiritual master said. So when he first arrived, he was thinking we need to find our own place to bring some people, and we can have some boys and girls and have a nice center instead of hopping places like how we usually were. So he was thinking maybe I'll like make a house, or I'll buy a house, or I'll rent a house, and then over there, instead of using it for my benefit, I'll use it for preaching. And so like this was his dedication. And soon there was a dealer. He showed him his bungalow. It was like a a two-story bungalow, ground floor and then top floor. And Prabhupada, he liked it very much. He asked, how much would this go for? And the dealer says it would go for 7 lakh rupees. Now Prabhupada, he barely had any money at this time. He had just arrived. It's been like 2 or 3 months into his journey. And his only source of money is the newly found like future disciples that he might have. And so he was very sad that I don't have any money, so I can't buy this right now, but I'll figure out a source of income to buy this bungalow. So like this he was thinking, and then he went home later that night and he wrote down possible like ways that he could get it. First of all, one of the first ways that he thought would be to get some money from India, right? Have some friends, godbrothers in India that would give him some money. So through Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he had him write a letter to the Prime Minister of India, saying that can you like allow some money to be sent here, right? And this was like not possible, as like the Prime Minister of India, she just left him on red. She just said no, it's not possible because we have like a crisis going on here ourselves. So if you need some money, then you're going to have to arrange it there. So he makes a point again that I'm spreading your culture over here. You should have some debt to me, that I'm spreading our culture in the Western world, and the culture that like people in our country aren't like taking up. So the Prime Minister said like I can't do anything, right? I'm sorry. So he thinks, what else is there to do? He then asks in Pune, he had this like Universal Book Trust, I think. He had this book trust, and that he asked them that I gave you guys some Bhagavatam for publishing, printing, right? Did you guys do anything? How much books have you published? I need the money right now. I need it, right? So the people said that Swamiji, we've given up on your books. Nobody over here wants to buy them. They're all modern men, and they don't find any value in these ancient teachings. all these, like, they think of it as backwards, so it's not making any profit. So we'll send you back your books and all the money that you gave us for the possible printing. So Prabhupada thinks, well, this is another door closed, what do I do now? So even then he didn't give up, right? He goes to the dealer and he tries to convince him that, okay, I've talked to my people. They said that we should get the money in 6 to 7 months. They're deporting it now. Even though he didn't. He was just like thinking ahead that maybe I could do something to get this. I just need it in the short term so I can make a small like house for the deities and for people to make the Sankirtan movement larger. This would, the dealer, he didn't buy it. He was thinking, you're just like a common man dressed in robes. Where are you getting 7 lakhs from? He dismissed him. He's like, no, I don't want to buy this. I'll just like, I need to sell it to someone right now urgently. So it's better you do something else. So Prabhupada, he, one of his friends in India, he called him that day and he said, do you still have the offer for 7 lakhs? I'll send you some money and we can make the movement bigger. And Prabhupada said, no, it's actually taken up. He said that convince him that we will give him 50 lakhs. But I want a small house. So Prabhupada said, no, we can't have a small house. We need a large house so we could preach more broadly. And how will the devotees stay? How will they live? We need a big hall for chanting, dancing, to keep storage, right? And this Prabhu, he declined. He said, no, we want a small building with like, where it should like be meticulously crafted, small details, fine arts. But then Prabhupada said, no, I'll go, this can't happen because we need a bigger house. And so he put off that offer too. Now he doesn't have anything to do, and he's like out of ideas. So he just like goes back to find a small house. So he's on the streets, and there's this nice man named David. He gives him like some part of his, like, I think it's an apartment. And some part of his apartment. I live on left side, you live on right side, he told Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he like sheltered Prabhupada for a couple of weeks or days. And Prabhupada, he used to think like very greatly of this person, that he's not asking for any money or anything. So he said, he used to write in his books and tell people that I will make him my first devotee. I will give him Diksha first. And then one night, he hears this David screaming. And then it's like a blood-curdling scream, and he runs into his part, and then he's like, what happened? And he sees that his eyes are like bloodshot red. And he's like screaming, and he's pointing like a gun at Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, he was like scared because he's at the age of 70. He has like no, he doesn't know what to do because there's no one looking out for him. So somehow he survived that night, slept, waited for him to sleep, and then early morning, 5 o'clock, he left. He fled the house and he went on the streets. Now on the streets, he's like, where do I go now? I don't have any place to live. There's no one that I know. So he's thinking like, where should I go? Left, right, forward, where do I go? Then in his mind comes that there's this Mike and Jan. They're like an unmarried couple, but they're going to marry in a couple of weeks, and take Diksha from him. So he goes to their house, morning 5 o'clock, knocks on the door, and then Mike comes out and he sees, Swamiji, what are you doing here? And then he's like, oh, I'm here to live, and then with you guys. And then they're confused. Why are you here to live? So he sits down and explains the entire situation. And after that, Mike and Jen, they feel like real pity towards him. So they let him live. They welcomed him in nicely, but with shame, because as an unmarried couple, they shouldn't be living together. So like this, Prabhupada stayed in his house, in their house for a few months. And from there, he opens like lots of temples One of them was 26th Avenue. And his first initiated Western disciple was Jayananda Das in 1967. And that was his first major breakthrough in what he calls, because he had absolutely no hope of initiating disciples over there. And in November, he publishes his first Back to Godhead magazine, Volume 1, in which he had been working on before he came to America, in Vrindavan itself, in the Radha Damodar Mandir. And he also established the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in 1972, after his miscommunication and failure to print books with the Universal Books Trust. And he also completed translation of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, all 17 volumes written by hand. And he somehow found a way to publish these. And he also established the Bhaktivedanta Institute for Scientific Preaching, in which he would train his disciples in the art of preaching, sankirtan, and other devotional activities. And I think I'll end there, and Pia can take over after this. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll be talking about Srila Prabhupada's disappearance and his impact on the world. And forgive me if I say anything wrong. Okay. So the first few days prior to Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, he wanted to take a bullock cart across different holy places in India. The main place he was eager to go to was Vrindavan. And during these days, he was said to be bedridden and he couldn't eat any solid foods. His disciples from Krishna Balaram Mandir accompanied him. Srila Prabhupada, he disappeared on November 14th, 1977. But as always, pure devotees of Krishna never die. They just finish their Leela and enter into the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada's life and work significantly influenced the spread of Bhakti Yoga and Vaishnavism worldwide, making him one of the most prominent figures in modern Hindu spiritual movements. Prabhupada was a dedicated follower of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism tradition, which stems from the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Radha and Krishna. Prabhupada's teachings emphasize the importance of self-realization, compassion, and devotion to Krishna. His teachings spread across the globe, leading to the establishment of 100 ISKCON centers, temples, and farms. His followers continue his mission today, and ISKCON has become a significant religious and cultural institution with millions of members worldwide. And just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was guiding Srila Prabhupada, even though he was not physically present, Srila Prabhupada is guiding us through his words. Also, there are two kinds of sevas that he has taught us. Vapu, which means physical seva, and Vani, which means seva by words and actions. Srila Prabhupada has left us so many books which we could answer all our questions to if we read them sincerely. In his letters, he emphasized some key points that are maintaining unity, spreading Krishna consciousness, cooperation and accountability, distributing his books and his words, and also to follow the 4 regulative principles, which are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. Through ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada's teachings on Krishna consciousness has reached countless of people, transforming lives and inspiring a global movement rooted in devotion, spiritual knowledge, and bhakti. As of now, there are around 600 ISKCON centers and temples all over the world only due to his preachings and teachings, and his books are our greatest treasures which we should sincerely read, and we should follow his instructions to develop a strong spiritual life.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Shubhangam, and I'm going to talk about Srila Prabhupada's legacy and the 7 purposes of ISKCON. So if I make, any mistakes in what I say, please forgive me. Right. So first we have to define what legacy is. If you search up the word legacy on Google, it gives a definition that legacy is the long-lasting impact someone or something has had, right, through their lives. And Srila Prabhupada's impact cannot be put into words, right? So many people have discovered Krishna consciousness and have turned to Krishna consciousness because of Srila Prabhupada. Can you imagine how hard it was for him, right? He was 69 years old when he came here on the Jaluta with no money, right? No friends. He just came here all alone, and he sat on Washington Park, right? And he was just chanting, and then he was just attracting people to come to him, right? Sometimes in Harinam, right, it's very hard for people to even, accept a book, right? It's very hard to, get their attention and retain their attention. But Prabhupada has done it, even without a whole, a group, right? So, Srila Prabhupada's, impact can be, also credited to, the following of his Guru Maharaj, right? So Srila Prabhupada's legacy was also that he has written so many books, right? 80 plus books. If we look over here, right, we have so many books that are written by Srila Prabhupada, right? Mainly are the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Bhagavad Gita is used in a lot of college courses, right? To, teach them philosophy, right? And then Srimad Bhagavatam also is it's a very important book, right? It tells us about Krishna and how to love Krishna, right? And also the fact that Srila Prabhupada has spread the holy name, right? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always emphasized that we need to spread the holy name all around the world, right? And now the holy name is being chanted everywhere in the world, right? 600 plus temples. I think there's a temple in almost every country, right? And can you imagine, right? Everywhere people are, chanting the holy name, right? They're doing Harinam. They're doing, they're doing worship, right? They're pleasing Krishna everywhere, right? That's his legacy. He has also is the fact that people who have also, by prasadam, right? There's a story. There was a rapper. His name was KRS-One, right? And KRS actually stood for Krishna, right? He told that later on. KRS stood for Krishna, right? And he used to live in ISKCON London, right? And then the prasadam, they used to do prasadam distribution to homeless shelters, right? And he didn't have anything to eat, right? So he used to take the prasadam that was given to him by the temple devotees, right? And then eventually, he became interested in, what the temple devotees are actually doing. So he went to the temple, and then he got a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, right? And then he started reading it. And then he implemented it in his life, right? And that's just one story. There are many stories of people, who have benefited from this movement, right? Actually, the temple now, we're also doing a program that, serves food at homeless shelters, right? So we're also, changing other people's lives. And also legacy can also be, passing down the knowledge of, the ancestors, right? And he has passed down that knowledge very successfully, right? He has translated so many of the scriptures, right? So many of the scriptures. And for those who are not able to, or who do not want to read those, those scriptures, right? Those big books, he has created, miniature versions, smaller, more comprehensive versions that focuses on, more little bits of the Bhagavad Gita that can help them with their, life and their spiritual progression. And it's also that his words have also changed, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Right? When Ayendra Prabhu and a few of other Srila Prabhupada's disciples were in class with Srila Prabhupada, they're asking, "Oh, okay, Srila Prabhupada, can we chant this bhajan?" right? And he said, yeah, but mostly chant Hare Krishna. And then they asked again, Srila Prabhupada, what about this bhajan? They said, yeah, but mostly chant Hare Krishna, right? And they said, Prabhupada, what about this bhajan? He says, yeah, but mostly chant Hare Krishna. So everything that they asked him, he always said, always chant Hare Krishna, right? He has spread the Maha Mantra. It's Maha Mantra. It's the greatest of all mantras. He has spread the Maha Mantra all around the world. And also that his books have changed so many people's lives. Who here, has gotten into Krishna consciousness because of Harinam? Anyone? Anyone? Yes. But when he was starting out, right, he attracted many people also with his preaching, right? So then, yes, so Srila Prabhupada also asked, right, are you reading my books, right? He asked his disciple, are you reading my books? He has worked so hard on his books, right? There's a story, he used to wake up maybe he used to stay up until 2 o'clock just writing his books, right? Just writing his books. And he was going through so much because he always had, in his heart, Krishna, right? He knew that it was to spread Krishna consciousness, right? So then, the 7 purposes of ISKCON. If you look over there, it says to successfully propagate spiritual knowledge. To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge, right? And he does that by giving out the scriptures, translating the scriptures, translating Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charamrita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Those are a few examples, but those have spread so far around the world, and it has given so many opportunities for people to learn about Krishna and to learn about Krishna consciousness. And the other one, the second purpose is to propagate a consciousness of Krishna as it is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? He has, again, right, through his books are very important, right? Through the Bhagavad Gita, he always encouraged reading the Bhagavad Gita every day because it helps us understand Krishna and it helps us to learn how to love Krishna, right? And the second was to bring the members of the society together with each other and near to Krishna, the prime entity, and thus to develop the idea within the members and humanity at large that each soul is a part and parcel of the quality of Godhead, Krishna, right? He has done this through the building of temples. Again, right? Big, very big and very nice temples which, are all there to house the devotees and to please the Lord. And also festivals, right? Festivals bring so many people together and they're all, in the honor of, celebrating the Lord. And then it is to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement of congregational chanting of the holy name of God as is revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As I mentioned, right? He highly encouraged Kirtan. He really loved Kirtan. He really loved the Maha Mantra, right? What bhajan should I sing? Yeah, sing that, but mainly chant Hare Krishna. That's what he said, right? And also, he has also influenced, his disciples have also influenced, this Sankirtan movement. Yes, a lot of you people really know who Ayendra Prabhu is, right? He established a 24-hour Kirtan program in Vrindavan, and it has still been going on and on, right? And that's just one example. Now we have so many Kirtan retreats. We have so many, festivals, Kirtan festivals. Kirtan is always being sung all around the world. Right? And then the fifth one is to establish a holy place of transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Krishna. Again, 600 plus temples all around the world. 600 plus temples. And so many devotees are there serving Lord Krishna. So many devotees are there helping out in the temple, volunteering at the temple. Yes, the temple brings people together for the cause of pleasing Krishna, right? And then number 6 was to develop a simpler and more natural way of life. gradually, when you start reading the Bhagavad Gita more and more, and when you start reading the scriptures more and more, then you start developing, you start developing humility, and you start developing, very good characteristics and tolerance. And then once you realize that, this material world is temporary, then you'll start to live a more natural, more simple way of life. And then last but not least is with a view towards achieving the aforementioned purposes to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other writings. We have seen that it's not only Srila Prabhupada that has been doing this, his disciples, right? They have also been spreading and writing their own books, right? Over here we have Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, a lot of his books that, that help explain, why we do deity worship, or, about the soul from birth to death. And also Srila Prabhupada's other books, right? Mainly, again, the scriptures. Yes, they explain everything. And then other people and other devotees, they have also compiled different books that we can read, that we can also use to our benefit, right? So, thank you, everyone. Again, if I made any mistakes, please forgive me.
So Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for letting us discuss about Srila Prabhupada and giving us your time. We really appreciate it. So now we would like to open up the floor and see if there's any questions or comments that you guys have. Don't be shy. There's 5 of us, so you'll get one answer. Oh, there we go.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone here who gave us a good review of Srila Prabhupada's legacy. Especially, it's a good reminder for us to read Srila Prabhupada's books because, he went through so much trouble to write these books. One question maybe I had was why was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanting to preach this to the West? Why not any other place? Any thoughts, whatever you've heard from other lecturers?
So I'll let other people answer this as well. But what I see is that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, even though he told Prabhupada to preach to the English-speaking countries, we see now that somehow, with some magic, there's a temple in almost every country in the world. So that shows that even though Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told Prabhupada to preach to English-speaking countries, I don't think that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati or Prabhupada took that as a limitation to how many hearts Krishna consciousness could reach to. So also, as we all know, practically speaking, English is the most widely known and the largest language in the world. So almost all people in other countries will learn English, and if Prabhupada was able to translate his books and preach in English, that could reach the hearts and ears and minds of more people. So I think that's why it was important that Prabhupada first started preaching in English, and soon after we see that many of his disciples and their disciples have worked together to translate the books into even more languages. There's Arabic, Chinese, every Indian language is there now, and then languages all over the world. So that's what my thought is on that. Would anyone else like to answer?
I think it's also because the West was seen as not a really spiritual place, right? It was kind of degraded because of the hippie movement. People were they were using drugs, right? They're using drugs, and they think that they're happy, right? And they use their drugs and they go, oh, right? And then after after it's done, then they go back to crying, right? They go back to suffering. So it's just temporary happiness and internal suffering, right? So then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, yes, he told us to go to the West so we can free them from the suffering and give them Krishna consciousness. So I think that's why he also encouraged going to the West.
Just very quickly, it's also West is the place of influence. So once West is influenced, the rest of the world is going to follow anyway. So that's also one additional reason. So So thank you everybody so much. So also there is a small treat at the end, so I don't want to delay further. So, one more question? Okay.
What would you tell kids your age? Hare Krishna, wonderful presentation, by the way. Thank you. What would you tell kids your age? Why should we be following the instructions or the teachings of Srila Prabhupada? Why should we, reading, studying, and have a connection with him?
Okay. I think we should follow Prabhupada because he was an example of a pure devotee, right? He showed qualities of humility, tolerance, and most of all, his love for Krishna, right? Even though at an old age of 69, right? Most Americans here that are 69s, they're in retirement homes, they barely move, right? But Srila Prabhupada, he got up and he said, yes, I have to do this. I have to spread Krishna consciousness to the West, right? And when he was in the West, right, he started for nothing, but he was still humble, right? He still had tolerance, right? Even though some of the hippies and people they're disrespecting him, right? Right, like as Divyansh mentioned, like the person who was showing a gun to his head, he never got mad. He just tolerated it and he moved on, and it shows his humility. And he also had so much knowledge, right? He was very knowledgeful. He had read a lot of the shastras, and he was very well versed in Sanskrit, and he was very intelligent. He was a very intelligent man, and we have to follow him because he showed what a pure devotee was, not only through his actions but through his words too, right? And he also showed through his actions. Right? That's by translating the Bhagavad Gita, right? Even like staying up so late just to translate the Bhagavad Gita, it shows his dedication and his love for Krishna, his unfaltering love for Krishna, as so much as to risk his own sleep and his own wellness to preach Krishna consciousness. So yes, I think we should follow him because he's a great example of a pure devotee.
Thank you very much. And just to add to your answer about why in English, Paschata Desatarine, right? To deliver the Western countries who that feel the impersonalism and voidism. But you have to remember at that time everybody was following the things in the West. So in India, people were just so caught up with Western culture that Srila Prabhupada says, like, what would be the best way for our community in India to see and appreciate Krishna consciousness. So that's when he thought that New York, being the capital of the Vogue and everything. So he says, if I go and when I bring back my dancing white elephants, then everybody is going to follow. So when people saw the Western devotees who actually started, they revolutionized everything in London. But he decided to come to New York instead of London. And that is so that people who were actually born in the culture will be able to take a look and say, like, we have such a wonderful culture. So and I'm telling you this, you have a wonderful culture. We have a wonderful culture. Srila Prabhupada came to give Krishna consciousness, the culture of Krishna consciousness, nothing else. So please, let's do justice to that. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah, I want to add one more thing. So you all know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Prithviyate Ache Adi Nagradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoibo Morenam. So he said that all over the world, in every town and village, my name will be sung. So somebody had to fulfill his prophecy, right? He did not do it himself. He left this work for his followers. So that's why all the acharyas in our tradition wanted to make that prophecy true, and that's why they were insistent on preaching on West. Hare Krishna.
Just introduce that. Introduce that. This is Prabhupada's favorite bhajan and what it's called. So Hare Krishna, everyone. So now we would like to sing Prabhupada's favorite bhajan, which is Hari Hari Bifale, and this is by Narottam Das Thakur, and it's a really beautiful bhajan. So we will sing a little bit, and then we will read the translation and continue.
And having met, worshipped Radha and Krishna, I have knowingly drunk poison. The treasure of divine love in Gokul Vrindavan has descended as the congregational chanting of the Lord Hari's name, or Lord Hari's holy names. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night my heart burns from the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I have not taken the means to relieve it. Lord Krishna, who is the son of the king of Raja, became the son of Sachi, Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram became Nitai. The holy name delivered all the souls who were lowly and wretched. The two sinners, Jagai and Madai, are evidence of this. O Lord Krishna, son of Nanda, accompanied by the daughter of Rishabhanu, please be merciful to me now. Narottam Das says, O Lord, please do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet, for who is my beloved except for you?
Krishna
Srila Prabhupada.
Haribo!
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I think the youth deserve a bigger applause than what you were able to give. Please. Thank you so much. Wonderful class and nice surprise kirtan at the end. Appreciate it. I'm sure you all appreciated that also. So, go ahead. Thank you so much. Please keep up the good work, and I appreciate the teachers and the parents for leading the children so nicely. Really appreciate effort. I know that this don't just happen by magic. You know, the parents and the teachers have to put in a lot of effort to where the children are today. And a lot of these children, we've seen them grow here from little babies to where they are right now. So it's wonderful to see them grow up here in front of our eyes and leading a nice life of Krishna consciousness. So good luck and keep it up. So we have a little bit of slightly longer program today. After the announcements, we have some children who have dressed up as in traditional dress, and I'm going to have Megha Mataji introduce them. We'll just spend 5 minutes only, and we'll just have the children parade through here because they've made the effort to dress up in the traditional clothes for celebrating not only Diwali and Golden Puja, but also Kartik. So we'll just do that after the announcements. We have 2 sponsors today, Trivedi family. Are they here? They are celebrating Sonal Bhatt's birthday, so please give them a big round of applause. And then we have Shailesh Patel and family. I know they are not here either. Please give them a big round of applause. They are sponsoring today's feast for just gratitude to their lordships for all they have. So very nice way to start the new year. They had their New Year's yesterday and wanted to sponsor the feast today. So upcoming events, we have a lot going on. On Tuesday, we are celebrating Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day, and this is the reason why we had this class today by the youth, talk about Prabhupada's legacy. But on Tuesday, we have a morning program. It starts at 11 o'clock and it goes on till 1 o'clock. We're going to have Abhishek, Arati, Pushpanjali, and then Prashadana. So that's on this coming Tuesday from 11 to 1. We have Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day celebrations. Then on November 15th, we have Tulsi Diva. That's going to be the end of Kartik. And because it's a Friday, we decided to celebrate, usually we celebrate Tulsi Diva on a Sunday, but we are going to go ahead and celebrate that on Friday, November 15th. And you have an opportunity to participate in the ceremony. So if you would like to do so, Damodar Prabhu is going to be at the counter. You can go and see. You can either represent the groom's or the bridegroom's side, and you'll be able to participate in the yajna. And that's on the 15th of November. And just before that, from November 9th to 14th, we have His Holiness Bhaktisundar Goswami Maharaj visiting us, and there's going to be 3 home programs for which you have to RSVP to the host so they can make appropriate prasadam arrangements. We have 2 evening programs and 1 morning program. The information is going to be on our Facebook page and also posted at the temple and on the WhatsApp groups if you're part of that. If you need more information, you can see Vamshi Prabhu, Vamshi Gopal Prabhu, is he here? He's probably gone to the kitchen. So Prabhu is here, we can get more information from him. And we have a program at the temple on Sunday, next Sunday. The Sunday feast class will be given by Maharaj, and he's going to be talking about Tulsi Diva, the significance of Tulsi Shalika Diva. And then we have 2 evening online programs as well on the 11th and the 12th. So Maharaj is going to be here from the 9th to the 14th, and there's going to be a couple of online programs, 3 home programs, and one program at the temple. And then on the 9th of November, we have Talks and Craft Vaishnavi program one more time on a Saturday from 10 to noon, and prasad will be served after that. And it's going to be part one of two-part program. We are going to, as you know, have a children's festival coming up soon, and they're going to be preparing for that. So this is going to be done in 2 stages, and on the 9th is going to be part 1. And that's going to be led by Leagacy Mataji and Shamamini Mataji. So you can see them for more information. Shamamini Mataji is here, and I saw Leagacy Mataji somewhere here. Oh, she's in the back. Okay. So please see her if you'd like more information. We do need RSVP for that, so we can prepare prasad accordingly. On the same day, unfortunately, on the 9th, we also are celebrating Diwali at Tempe Del Norte School, and that's going to be from 11 to 1. And ISKCON of Phoenix is participating there as well. So if you want to join us there, you can, but we have the Vaishnavi program here as well, so there's slight conflict on that particular day. And one more program, last one is on Thursday, November 7th, we have Experience Interfaith, and that's going to be at the Guru Nanak Dwara, downtown Phoenix on 9th Street from 5 to 7. And ISKCON of Phoenix is participating there, book distribution. You can join us there, and there's going to be prasadam served after the program. So main programs from 5 to 6, 6:15, and after that there's a little bit of discussion, and then they serve prasadam there. So that's at the Guru Nanak Dwara on 9th Street on November 7th, and it happens to be a Thursday. Our morning sadhana program continues from 5 o'clock in the morning till 6 a.m. Please join us. This is via Zoom and YouTube. Then we have our Srimad Bhagavatam class at the temple at 7:35 in person or via Zoom and Facebook live streaming. And then in the evenings from Monday through Friday, Vaishnavis read Srimad Bhagavatam as well, 4:30 to 5:15. And then our youth also are reading Srimad Bhagavatam on Sundays via Zoom between 2 and 3. And you saw how nicely they can preach to themselves. And we are also reading Srila Prabhupada's books as well. And in the evening, we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita from 8:30 to 8:50 from Monday to Friday. So that's Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. So you start your day nicely with the morning program, and then you end your day also nicely with the Chaitanya Charitamrita reading via Zoom. That's in the evenings from 8:30 to 8:50. There are other programs like Sunday Vedic School and Hindi classes. Yoga is on hold until the New Year. And we offer pujas and catering from the temple. And last but not least, I'd like to recognize Shamamini Mataji for her huge seva, big seva on Friday with the Govardhan Hill. She did a wonderful, she virtually did a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours by herself. And it was such a wonderful celebration, such a wonderful setup. Please give her a big round of applause. I'm going to just come to you, but I'm going to come around there. But we really appreciate all your seva. Thank you so much. She loves Govardhan Hill setup. She was not able to be here last year, and she's so attached to that. And Krishna made nice arrangements for her, where she was in Bangalore, the local temple. Did not have anybody to take care of their Govardhan Hill setup, and she was invited to do that. She was really missing her seva here so much, but Krishna took care of her. So I'm really pleased that happy that she was here this year, and we have such a wonderful setup. How many of you were here on Friday? Yeah. Wasn't that really a nice setup this year? Please give her another round of applause, and we're going to go ahead and set up Malachi.
it was a team effort because they were beautiful ladies, you know, Mataji.
Yes.
I mean, Rajlila, Mataji, I couldn't go without them, so thank you so much.
So she had a wonderful team as well. She's acknowledging all the Matajis who came and helped her. I know Mamta Mataji was here, Rajavila Mataji was here. So many of you were here, so thank you.
And the little ones.
And the little ones, yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and recite the Damodar Ashtakam prayers now. We're going to be forming one line. People seated over here will have to move. We're going to set up the stanchions here. And you'll be collecting your diyas here, and one line only. And all the children must be accompanied by adults. No children with the lamps without their parents, please. And please be careful. Before we go, 1 second.
They have to do the translation, otherwise people are not pay attention.
So I would like Mega Mataji to bring the children who have dressed up. They can come up now while we are setting up. All the children who dressed up for today, for their lordship's pleasure, please come up. We have some nice gopis and gopals. One dressed as Krishna.
मेरा भी साथ भी है, इसका गंदा था ऐसा बोल मेरा को ऐसा बोल दिया इतना अच्छा है मेरा प्यारा मजा की कर रहा हूँ
So we'll need all of you guys outside of the area. Just put this here. Put him here, that's fine. Put him back. And you guys have to visit. No, I'm happy.
We have to set up 3 minutes. I gotta get.
The lamps are going to be offered in the back.
But I am part of my.
The lamps are going to be offered in the back. The line, you need to move back. Rasakrita Prabhu, we need to have people move back.
Okay, where are you sitting?
Move back over the lamps are behind you. Rasakrita, the lamp is behind you.
Who needs mics? Who needs mics?
We need 3 mics. Okay, just space out 3 though.
Okay, you're sitting right here. Okay.
Just put this on the side. Put one on the
You need this for harmonium. Sit down. Let me see.
Congratulations by the children today.
Take the mic, we're not sitting.
For flute?
Sit down. No, we have to speak.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
No, she's saying sit down.
The children from the Giri Govardhan class and Damodar class, if you could please have some silence. We're going to recite Damodar Ashtakam prayer before we start the live. Don't start again, but please. Before that, we want to move things fast. I would request everyone to please have some courtesy for the little kids who have been preparing a lot. We are going to hear the translation, and when we start with the prayers, at that point, in orderly fashion, please you're going to come and get water and get your diya, please. We really appreciate your understanding and cooperation. This is something that Prabupada, just before leaving, actually left. He said, your love for me is going to be shown by how much you cooperate with each other. So please, let's cooperate with the little kids. Thank you.
Move up if you're like. So what are we doing? Are we
Let's just wait.
and I'll be giving a brief introduction about the Damodar Ashtakam. So this prayer is sung during the month of Kartik, also known as the month of Damodara, as quoted in the Sri Hare Bhakti Vilasa. In the month of Kartika, one should worship the Lord Damodara and daily recite the prayer known as the Damodar Ashtakam, which has been spoken by the sage Satyavata and which attracts Lord Damodara.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form embodies eternity, knowledge, and bliss, whose earrings swing to and fro, who shines beautifully in Gokula, who quickly ran from the grinding motor in fear of Mother Yashoda, and who was caught from behind by her, who ran faster than he. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines, like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
With these super excellent childhood pastimes, Lord Krishna drowned the residents of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. In this way, he declared to those absorbed in knowledge of his majesty and opulence, I am conquered only by my pure loving devotees. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, though you cannot award all kinds of benedictions, I pray to you neither for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor for the highest liberations of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor for any other such boon. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what use do I have for any other boon besides this?
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tangled with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodara, O Ananda, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
O Lord Damodara, as a baby tied to a grinding motor, you delivered Kuvera's 2 sons from the curse of Narada and made them into great devotees. In the same way, please give me pure loving devotion for you. I long for this alone and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodara, obeisances unto the brilliantly effulgent robe binding your belly. Obeisances unto your belly, the abode of the entire universe. Obeisances unto your dear most beloved Srimati Radharani, and obeisances unto you, O Lord, who display unlimited pastimes.
Jai! Jai!
Namaste.
Parents from the Govardhan and Damodar classes, please help your children so that they are able to offer the diya. Children are not going to have diyas on their own. Please, the small children, help your children. Thank you.
The older children. We're not small, you see us. Understand us. What do we do?
Namaste Krishna 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 Chaitanya Namah Krishna Mahaprasad Govinda Namo Varne Vaishnava Sarva Punya Raja Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ki
Hare Krishna. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all the volunteers who came to help us at the Chant Library to celebrate Diwali festival. Please give those soldiers who worked so hard yesterday. We were busier than we expected. So please give these volunteers a big round of applause. I'll see them individually next week for garlands and things. We ran out of garlands today. So a big round of applause once again for the volunteers who came and helped us so nicely yesterday at the Chandler Library to celebrate Diwali. Thank you volunteers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna